Vitality is our ability to have spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical bliss. Some call it paradise. We call it a game.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, Femininity coach and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what we're talking about is Black women don't follow because the men don't lead. And I'm going to go ahead and tackle this concept and just obliterate it. We need to be done with it because it's just an excuse. So what I want to do is I'm going to share a really quick video with you, and then we're going to come back and cook. So without too much further ado, let me go ahead and share, and here we go.
Of the team, and the team loses, they're gonna come at you, right? Because you're the leader. You're the quarterback. If we're the leader of the community, and if Black women are so out of control, or modern women are so out of control, then ain't that on us?
Yeah. But if the team decided we don't need to listen to this leader anymore, we got this, we can play the game without you and win. Matter of fact, we'll get further without your leadership. Only to find out, you thought the leader was insignificant, but he was the most valuable player. But you didn't learn that until you went out there trying to play games without listening to the leader, because you thought you knew more than the leader. You thought you can get further without the leader. You thought life would be more beneficial without the leader leading you. Now you're dealing with the ramifications, what have you, of a team with no leader, no direction, no instruction. Then, after abandoning leadership, you don't get to come back and point your finger in that leader's face and say, we lost games because you wasn't there. You wasn't there. It's your fault. It's your fault. No, you come back and say, I was wrong, boss. Forgive me. I thought I didn't need you. I thought I could do it without you. I see that I need you just as much as you need me. But no. These women want to blame the leader because they decided they didn't need that leader's leadership. Now they dealing with the results of not having a leadership, and they coming back blaming the leader when the leader ain't the one told them to leave in the first place. Who told them to leave is people that don't even play the game that you're playing. More of the story, ladies, let's just admit we was wrong. We was wrong. Feminism lied to us. Simps lied to us. Older women who came before us lied to us. It's okay. It's okay. We was wrong. There is something so beautiful about a woman that's able to be vulnerable and admit that she was wrong. Just, you was wrong, baby. You was wrong.
Okay. Let me come back to you. The first thing that I want to address is Black men are the leaders of the community. You know, hyenas like to throw that in, and sometimes, unfortunately, simps fall into the same category of saying that Black men are the leaders of the community. Not practically, not in practice, not in reality. No, it's nice to say that. Should Black men be in the leadership position of the community? Of course they should. Have they been the leaders of the community at one point? Of course they were. That's when we were a community worth having. Have Black men effectively been the leaders of the community over the past 60 to 70 years? No. Is it because Black men just abandoned that post? No. Black men were systematically removed from that post, both with external factors, with external environmental factors coming into play, and he was sleeping with the enemy. who assisted the system to remove Black men systematically from his position of leadership, to disenfranchise and marginalize him to such an extent that he became, in certain ways, obsolete to the Black community and to the Black woman and to the Black family. That is where Black men went. They didn't just abandon post and then Black women had to take it up. And now when it's all in shambles, you got to, attack the person that was just trying to hold it up. No, that is the narrative that hyenas would have you believe. That's the narrative that divestors would have you believe. That's the narrative that Cynthia G and her followers would have you believe. That's the narrative of irresponsible women who don't want to have any accountability or responsibility for the hand that they played in the destruction of the Black community. That's the narrative that they would have us to believe, that Black men just woke up one day and was like, you know what, we cutting loose, we getting out of here, we don't want y'all no more, and we just gonna abandon y'all and y'all can just have to fend for y'allself. That is not what happened at all. And if you paid attention to any part of American history and Black American history, you would see that and you would know that, if you did so with a genuine eye. But if you want to be disingenuous, you can try to turn things around or create a narrative that doesn't have anything to do with reality. So I beg to differ about Black men effectively and practically, for all intents and purposes, being the leader of the Black community, when in point of fact, for all intents and purposes, it has been the Black woman who has been leading the community straight into a pit. And this has been at the behest and with the support of Zaddy. With Zaddy's understanding that it would actually destroy the community and obliterate it through her. Because she doesn't understand how to build a community, and she's not interested in the selfless ways in which you have to behave and the sacrifices that you have to put forth in order to have strong families, communities, neighborhoods, and cultures. Okay, she was gonna look out for herself and her own best interest to the detriment of everybody else, and that's what Zaddy understood, and that's what he played on. Okay, so we have to deal with that. To a certain extent, we got to deal with Black men not being in that position. Black women have been in that position. They've been in control of the family structures. They've been in control of raising the children. They've been given the opportunity to affect us culturally, biologically, and environmentally by being given tools by Zaddy to orchestrate certain things using the environment. Right? So we're going to have to deal with that. The other thing that we need to deal with is we tired of the excuses of Black women saying that we can't follow Black men because they simply do not lead. It is not the leadership that is being questioned at this point. It's the followership that's in question. Okay? Let's get past all of the supposed leadership issues and let's go directly to the followership issues, because whether the men are good leaders or not is actually irrelevant to the type of follower that you are. And what am I talking about? See, this is one that we have not dealt with in quite a while that we need to revisit. Relational followership evaluation. These are the types of followers categories that women have a tendency to fall into. And unfortunately, the majority of women today fall in two categories, two primary categories here. We see the first one in red. That's the alienated follower. They're cynical. This follower's participation level is very low, it's mediocre, or it's absent. They have little to no belief in the leader and passively, regretfully, or negatively help him. This follower also has high and independent critical thinking skills, but they utilize them as well as their knowledge to undermine, to question, or to challenge the leader. That's the vast majority of you. The next group of you following that right up is the pragmatist follower. These are the consumers of men. This is the survivor. This follower's participation level is neither low nor high. They only believe in themselves, and they only actively support things that interest them. This follower has basic critical thinking skills and contribute their skills only when it is beneficial for them. We haven't done that one in a while. We needed to come back to that for this. Because the most of you, like I said, is either an alienated follower, like the one I read in red, or you're the pragmatic follower, the one in gray, most of the time. Very busy undermining all of the leadership that you get. And you only participate in areas of the relationship to the extent that you can use him or consume him for your benefit. That's all. That's it. That's where all this don't do nothing if you're at girlfriend prices, don't do wife stuff. That's where all of this conditional femininity, that's where all of that stuff even really comes from. All of that stuff comes from that. Because for the most part, when you guys meet a leader, you do one of two things. You either run from him or you attempt to sabotage him at every turn. You actually get jealous of him and you want to knock him down a peg or two. So you stay in his life and you stay in his circle, not to benefit, not to even learn. You stay there just to cause enough trouble to knock this man off his square and keep him off of it. That is what you do, because how dare you run into a black man that actually has leadership skills that puts you in your place relatively as the follower. See, a lot of y'all don't want to be no kind of follower. And this is why you invest so much time being a bad follower, because you don't like that position to begin with. You need to take that up with your creator. Okay? He the one set that order. So if you don't like that order, you need to take that up with your Lord. I don't know what you're going to say, but that's what it is. Here's the solution to all of this. Ladies, focus solely on your followership. Focus solely on your followership. If you are in the red, you need to work your way to the green. Okay? You need to work your way and skip the yellow, because the yellow is what the hyenas think femininity is, which is being a sheep, a passive follower. This follower's participation level is very low, mediocre, or non-existent. They have little to no belief in the leader, and they passively, regretfully, or negatively help him. This follower has little or no independent critical thinking skill and blindly follows the leader. This is what hyenas think being feminine is about. Work your way from the red to the green. Skip the yellow, skip the gray, go to the blue if you have to, because it's very difficult to go from red to green just jumping like that, because it takes work. If you're in the red, it's something going on with you and you need internal work. So you might want to go from the red to the blue. A conformist follower, yes, people, this follower's participation level is very high. They have a strong belief in the leader and they actively support him. This follower has low or no independent critical thinking skills and follows or adopts the leader's ideas to provide support. Now that is better than the yellow, the red, and the gray. But what you really want is to get to the green. You might have to go through the blue to get there. But if you end up in the blue, don't stop there, because that's not necessarily a good place to be. Better than where you were, but it's not the goal. The goal is exemplary, to be effective. This follower's participation level is very high. They have a strong belief in the leader and actively and harmoniously support him. This follower also has high independent critical thinking skills, and they utilize this and their knowledge to support the leader. That is where you actually want to be. That is where the highest and the best of lionesses reside. Lionesses in training that's trying to get there usually reside in the blue. Okay? You a hyena everywhere else. Right? And you need to work on it. If you don't want to be a hyena and you want to get to the blue and the green side of this board, you got work to do. If you're finding yourself in the yellow, the red, or the gray, you got work to do. Like I said, the blue is a good starting point. Green is where you want to be. And this is where the men need you to be. Being a yes person, just being that, That's all right to a certain degree, but you really got to work on it because he needs somebody that's effective and not just yes, 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 because your insight is not just yes, yes, yes. That's not your insight. He actually needs that feminine insight. And that's not just a yes, yes, yes. That's not what that is. Taking his mind and putting it in your brain. That's not necessarily adopting his vision. That's not quite the same thing. To be effective, you have to understand his vision and actively support it, but you got to be in harmony with it. That takes a lot. And it takes a conscious effort to do so each day as well. Okay? So focus solely on your followership because the proper leader will have no issue showing up and demonstrating leadership. Also learn to recognize what is leadership. A man's leadership, how good or bad it is based on how well he can execute his 4 Ps, not according to your whims, your fantasies, or your imagination, but how well it's actually being demonstrated because a man's 4 Ps is demonstrable. It's not in the realm of make-believe. It's demonstrable. It's something, it's tangible. His provision is tangible. His problem solving is tangible. His protection is tangible. His procreation is tangible. Men typically, masculinity provides tangible things. Femininity is what provides intangible things. Stuff you can't touch. Okay? So it's not based on your whim and your imagination. Bad leaders cannot abide good followers, just as bad followers cannot tolerate good leaders. So all of that, he a bad leader. Why you with him? You're attracting what comes to you. Water seeking its own level around here. You got to be a woman of integrity and uphold femininity with or without the presence of a man. Just like you want men to be masculine, whether he with a woman or not. You don't care whether he's got a woman or not to determine whether or not he's masculine. He's masculine in his own life, in his own lane. You need to be feminine in your own lane. Okay? Yes, men enhance your femininity. It can become enhanced by being under the SOS of a man. This is true, but you got to come with some type of level of it to begin with. Okay? Be useful to him because your usefulness is a demonstration of your femininity and your good followership. Women who are not useful are usually masculine or they're competing with their men. So the men don't find them to be good supports because you busy battling me and in a tug of war with me about who's going to wear the pants in this relationship. This is not good. You become a source of stress and trouble at that point. Then now he's looking at, do I want you? Do I not? Now he's counting to see whether or not you are worthy to be with him or should he expend this energy and time and all this kind of stuff. Right? And last but not least, stop blaming black men for your own shortcoming as a woman. You got to be a woman on your own. I don't know what happened to that, but you need to be a woman on your own. A woman, a real one, a good one, on your own. And stop waiting to see how you can blame a man for you not upholding your end of a relationship and your end, which is holding up femininity. Why he got to hold that up for you? That's something you're supposed to do. Okay? I just wanted to get to that. The next thing that I want to get to is our petition that we have against Black Lives Matter. We want to get to the next milestone, which is going to be 15,000 signatures on the petition. Okay? And just to set up a reminder, this is a 6-step process and initiative that we have, of which the petition is really step 1 of this process. So it becomes very important for us to show that we as a community are invested in actually speaking against the theft that Black Lives Matter organization committed against the Black community with that more than $100 million. And also it shows that we are willing to essentially right that wrong, essentially to do for the Black community what Black Lives Matter organization promised to do, but actually did the opposite of. Okay? So this is what that initiative is about. So it becomes very, very important. And I implore everyone to sign the petition and become part of this initiative to really help and support the Black community all across the United States. So please go ahead, click the link to the petition in the description box. Sign it, share it, contribute to it. Also jump down in the comment section and let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.